I will say between the two, I have to give it to the Summer Hikuru Dai simply because it was moving and it was animated. But I know once I get into chapter 49 next week, I'm not gonna like what I see. So we back again for Spooky Saturday with Dark Gathering chapter 48. As we know, 47 technically started probably from like 44, not even 44, 45. We were dealing with these bipedal ghosts that was unleashed from the bottom basement of a house that was sealed many years ago. And I believe it was a shaman, and this curse led to these creatures that walks on all fours. Again, these are probably one of the most dangerous ghosts they can come across, simply because this one lacks all reason, and it has more of the mentality of a beast. And with this particular ghost, once you hear the words, just like that praying priest, one of Yayoi's graduates, if it curses you through its speech, it turns you into, again, a Funko Pop, puts you into its pouch, and creates more. And just when we thought all hope was lost because they're running away, because Yayoi also was affected by the curse as well, and when they saw how much numbers was in the streets, they said, you know what, we can't do this no more. This is when they had gone back to remembering that if anything goes wrong, anything goes left, and Yayoi gets afflicted, we are supposed to call upon our favorite boy. And as you can tell, I did put up a community post earlier in the week because I made 2 thumbnails. One of the boy you're gonna see at the end, and of our meatball boy. Meatball, not boy. Okay? And you guys won. So that is the thumbnail, our son. I just literally forgot he was in the lion. And from the looks of it from this chapter, they tell us he actually has multiple modes in which he can go into. I did not know that. I do know what they showed us in the anime. If you go back to season 1 and when they were at the bridge and they faced against him, he had like an armored suit, but actually there's like, and I believe the armored suit that we saw, we only got up to 4. He has 6 different modes. So we had where Eiko, by the words of Yayoi, to get him, she summoned him. And again, the coolest summoning name you can think of. So his posthumous name, what he gained or is enlightened by after death. So his name was, to call upon him, is Wax, Black Assurer of the Eclipse. And then we get to this point where Eiko, and our son, okay, is in this like very white space with his sketchbook pad. And while they're in there, she's asking him, hey, I need help. He picks up the book and he's wondering what happened to Yayoi. So somehow both him and Yayoi did come together to have mutual agreement, and he is willing to protect her. So he's asking Eiko, if you allow me to eat as much as I want, will that protect big sister? And she's like, yeah. In essence, he's asking like, so if I do what you want and I can eat what I want, I'm allowed to go all out. Eiko says yes. Remember, at the end of the day, his backstory is extremely sad. It happened in season 1. So basically, he was abused for how much years, and his mother and her boyfriend abused him, and he eventually did die due to, I believe, starvation and everything. And so he cursed both his mother and his stepfather, or the step-boyfriend, and murked them. Okay? And they made him eat, I believe it was, or was it the father? How'd the story go again? They churned up a human and turned into the meat. That was a very disturbing thing that I had to read. And mind you, did I eat any meatballs within the past year and a half since then? Technically 2 years at this point. I think I did, but I try not to remember. But it was disturbing. It was disturbing. You can go back. The playlist will be up here. You can go back to my Dark Gathering playlist where all 25 episodes are on there, as well as the chapters. But yeah, his backstory is actually very sad. My son did not deserve that, bro. But nonetheless, Aiko, you know, she talks to him in a very, well, I wouldn't be able to tell, but if season 2 gets to this point, it probably will be a very soft voice she's talking to this child. So what she does before they are out of this blank space, which I never really realized she did, she basically ripped her glove and she plugged up his ears and told him it's just for your protection so you don't end up getting cursed by this ghost. And he gives a small little smile, because just like, if you think about it, he wasn't always really cared for when he was still living. So to see an older woman care for him, and it isn't just using him or abusing him for their own benefit, it warms his little ghostly heart. And then he gets into action. So again, it shows on his pad, you know, he shows how he looks like, and then all the ghosts are now showing up as his mother. So again, that vengeance and rage he's felt towards her for not caring for him, yeah, they're done. Once he sees someone that he pictures them and his mom that gave him that torment when he was alive, it's wraps for you, okay? You're turning into a meatball. He's going to eat you up. So what was so cool, and I used it in the thumbnail, you saw all the modes that he turns into. It comes like going clockwise. So it's this regular mode where he was human, and now in the same mode where you see him with the bloody eyes, holding the tray with the multiple meatballs in there and his sketch pad, and then it goes into the armored mode, and then there's this one mode which looks kind of foggy with eyes, and then there's like a pool with arms reaching up, and then it encases him into this ball that shoots up into the sky, and it looks like an eclipse. It's literally, that mode is called Eclipse. They say modes, I said modes. They call it the 6th form. So it's Black Ashura of the Eclipse 6th form. And it is the strongest, and the reason why he's the strongest, because he's the strongest in both offense and defense. So while he's consuming, nothing can get into that ball or out. And so long as he keeps that sketch pad right where he is, right next to him, he's impenetrable. Nothing can touch him. So he's literally, quite literally, it was a massacre. He obliterate all of them. None of them, they all tried to jump him while he's in his ball. Tried to eat at it, tried to break it down, and each one is popping everywhere. Keitaro and Yayoi is just looking, saying, bro, huh? Because, I mean, yes, he's the strongest, I guess, in her graduates. I mean, we didn't see all of her graduates as of yet, if I'm correct. Of course, probably some of you may have seen all of her graduates, but I didn't. So I'm guessing for the current graduates, because I know there's Oron, there's the priest, there's him, the Sugimoto one. I believe, I don't think he's a graduate though, but he is probably SA class. The Anko, the face stealer. Akko, the face stealer, yeah, I call him that. Okay. I'm trying to remember which other one is her graduate at this point. And then there's the one that's transitioning. I believe he's going to become a graduate as well. The transitional ghost, I believe he's going to become a graduate eventually. But those 3 or 4 so far. So him, our son, Oron, the crying piece, and Sugimoto. I call him Sugimoto, okay, because he was too bad to die. He had to be based off of him somewhat. He had to. So those are 4 out of the 6 graduates that she has. But if there was 1 or 2 that was mentioned or shown in the anime, currently right now I don't remember. But they do have a flashback talking about like how to properly bring him about. So Yayoi is saying that when you're calling upon this child's name, it is very crucial of how you do it, because on one hand, it's not to say he wouldn't help you, but if you mess up on calling him out, he may end up taking you out as if you were an enemy. So it was very crucial about how you say his name and the conditions that are met in order to summon him. So, and not only that, I'm guessing in a sense when they were back at the Watergate, he was strong. But I'm guessing where that happened, that was more also like a crutch, because that was his resting place as well. So by removing him from his resting place, which doesn't hold him back mentally, emotionally, and probably even spiritually, anywhere else, he can actually be at his strongest, at his most complete. So it was very crucial of how Eiko was to summon him so he can be on their side. Okay, and he obliterated them. Like they had no, like, and it, probably at the speed he was doing it too, they stood no chance. And as they're saying that, like, while he's holding the sketch pad and everything, he shifts into a form protecting himself from outside attacks. So there was no way for any of these ghosts to get in and attack him. It's either now this is kind of scary, because I just had the thought. Okay, I'm gonna get to it. So he took them all out, and again they're in shock. And while they're in shock, Yayoi still hasn't woken up. Right? She hasn't woken up as of yet. But Keitaro realizes that, like, she didn't shrink into a Funko Pop. So what is it that's preventing? We come to find out that it goes all the way to Eiko's house. And then we see that same ghost that tried to take her into the tunnel, that pretended to be a girl who was videotaping for basically YouTube of all the creepy stuff. Technically, she was a ghost that was murdered many years ago. And Eiko is just like, you're going to be my best friend forever. You're not going anywhere. And remember, she made her own paper dolls with what was it, like gooey 3D. She made a gooey stretchy one with a 3D printer, and then she had a lock of Yayoi's hair planted in there. So every time the curse is actually supposed to inflict Yayoi, it inflicts, I believe her name was Anna. It inflicts Anna because it's shrinking her, and then she's popping right back out. Because the difference between a regular paper, what do you call it? I'm trying to remember. But basically that paper, human paper thing, that eventually will just tear up no matter how you... Ugh, the words are not coming out. But the difference between them is if it was a paper one, it would have been completely destroyed. But Eiko was very smart. She's like, this is a stretchy, gooey one. It's going to take a long time before it wears out. So no matter what, and mind you, she did make a couple of hundred stacked up in the corner of her room or something like that. In the next room, she had like boxes on top of boxes. So I'm just like, y'all will never run out. Okay, so Yayoi is protected basically from the curse. I mean, it still hit her and she's still unconscious. They have to find a way how to like wake her up, even though majority of them were taken out by our son. But what was the most scariest part about this chapter, and I probably end up forgetting the point that I said I was going to get to later. Oh, no. The scariest part is one of them was able to forge back together with the arms and the legs, severed legs and everything. And it came back. And then it realized it was being taken away by something else in the shadows. And when it was taken away, all you see is this door. It's a cool looking door. This is when, you know what they hear about, like when it came to angels and fear me not, do not fear. This is where you have all the fear in your heart, bro. So it was all of these ghosts were being used to cause something much more dangerous. It took them in and then spit them back out. And when they came out that door, they had chains pulling some wheel stage. Like a small stage with wheels on it. Tell me why this creature looked like straight out of something biblical. It had an angelic face, but the body did not look right. It was it looked like these creatures. So what it would do is that these creatures are coming together to create something unholy, bro. Like, it's pure white to the point that you almost can't tell exactly the shape on the page, because that's how white it is. It has wings. It has the same body type as those creatures. And then it's using its nails to puncture into your head and then turn them into looking like the thin pieces of hair strands, and it consumes them like that. It looked like it came out the gates of hell. And Keitaro here you look like he's about to do number 3 and 4 on himself, because they realize we unleashed something that we shouldn't have. And I know they may have said that a couple of times, but I truly believe they meant that at least Keitaro. Because while Eiko is just looking like, Keitaro again looks like he's about to commit 3 and 4 on the spot. And this is what makes it terrifying, because I don't know if our son is going to be able to handle that. And what makes me fearful for next chapter, which is making me contemplate if I even want to read that chapter, is because I know I'm going to see something diabolical. I'm going to see, and I'm going to have to read it with the lights on. I'm going to have to read it with the lights shining bright like a diamond, because I don't trust next chapter. I don't. I'm scared out of my boots. I'm not really wearing boots right now, but you get what I mean. This thing looked like straight out of biblical text. That is scary. I know I did the summer he could do. It was scary with seeing that, but that looked like something straight out of Dark Gathering on the regular, or something from JJK on the regular. Scary, but like I could live with that as long as his face doesn't morph. Okay, but this, no. This, I'm gonna have to read this when the sun is at its brightest, even with the lights on in my room, even the ring light right here. I'm gonna have to turn it all on. I don't like it. I don't like it. What do you mean? This is the next form. This is the next form of them. They consume me, because it has been shown in Dark Gathering plenty of times where curses or ghosts, other spiritual entities, will consume each other to grow stronger. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I'm be real with y'all. I know I say this every now and again, but I'm scared of reading the next chapter, bro. I don't want to know what the next chapter is looking like. I honestly don't, because now it's gonna scare. Like, they don't have no other graduate. I don't. Is Keitaro's Shikigami gonna come into play too? Because I don't know, bro. I don't like it. I don't like this feeling. If I was Keitaro, I know I say this often, but bro, at some points it is what it is. It is what it is. Actually, you wouldn't even catch me in Kyoto. I'm saying my butt home, in my bed, in my blankets, under my blankets. I'm not going nowhere. Friend? What friend? I don't got no friends. I don't got no friends, bro. I'm being so serious. But if you guys, that's just not right. If you guys read chapter 48 of Dark Gathering, please do tell me how you felt about this chapter. Like, do you guys feel as unnerved as I do by the ending of seeing that biblical looking creature? That this is the first for this series, bro. We're used to seeing the creepy stuff. This is a level above creepy. This is like, what's that word when you this is uncanny. This is unnerving. And that's a whole different level of fear. Cause it's just like, what? And then it makes me think, if we're getting this, what happened? And I know it's probably in the 70s hitting the 80s, right? What other stuff am I going to see? But do tell me in the comments if you guys read the further chapters. No spoilers. The links are in the description box. You guys go check it out. And I'm Kimmy Chan. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. With